So hello and welcome to Intuitive Connection. I'm your host, intuitive counselor and spiritual guide, Victoria Shaw. And today, right next to me, for those of you who can see, I have my beautiful friend, Abby Williams, who is here for an intuitive reading. And Abby was also in season 2 of Living in Alignment, which will go live in October, probably after this episode goes live. So you're getting a little sneak peek on Abby's journey. And Abby, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
I'm so honored to have you. And Abby, I you're the opening episode for Living in Alignment. And I really don't want to spill the beans because we haven't released it season 2 yet. So this is going to be a little inside joke, but I have to share. Abby was about 3 minutes late coming on to the call, which is fine because she's very busy and it's all good. But my being extremely impatient because rather than meditating, I was playing with my divination cards, and I think you're going to just die when you see the card that I pulled. All right. So for those of you listening and watching, you can see her reaction was huge, right? You're going to I pulled the Lion card, and you're going to have to watch season 2 of Living in Alignment, episode 1 with Abby here to understand why that's so significant, because I'm not going to tell you now. But Abby, welcome. I'm so excited for our reading today. And isn't that crazy though? And I'll read you the message in a little bit too, because it is spot on. But tell me what you want guidance on today.
Wow. I think in general, like the next chapter, and I feel like I'm in a really healthier, better place, and I believe in myself more than I ever have. Sometimes those little things creep back in, the old narratives, the old talk, but I'm actually, especially today, I'm just really excited about the next chapter. And I've always said that I wasn't good at numbers and I wasn't necessarily a good business person, but I'm starting new businesses in a soulful place. And I'm opening up a retreat center in Mexico. I have no idea how that's going to happen, but I know that just like, you've told me in the past where I stood on the ground and I said, this is it. And I've put my down payment on, and I'm paying on this piece of land in Mexico. And so it's like something I've been wanting for 15 years. I've been talking about for 15 years, and it's finally happened. And so there's a part of me that's like, I did it. I've never owned anything, and I finally did it. And I want to do the things and be the real type of leader and just live that life that I sort of talk about to other people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going to tune in. Your guys want to start talking. Is it okay if I let them?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. And I know you're on a really high right now. And so, but the guides say there's a little bit of debt clearing that wants to have you to kind of get aligned with where you really want to go moving forward. Because we opened up this conversation chit-chatting about climbing that mountain in bare feet, right? And how this time, whatever your journey is, you don't want it to be so hard, right? Mm-hmm. It's not that you regret what you accomplished, because you accomplished so much. She has a huge nonprofit. She's put hundreds of children through school, fed them. She's done beautiful, magical things in the world. She has her own family that she's raised, right? So you've done a lot. But in this round, you just want it to be easier, more joyful, more playful, more cushy, more fun, and not feel, if I'm reading you correctly, like, you're kind of like doing it, by the skin of your teeth, and like your fingers are raw and tired. And you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have to do it all yourself. Right. Exactly. And you don't want it to be so hard. And so what your guides are inviting you to do first and foremost, and I'm going to pull up what they said about the Lion card, because it's pretty darn cool. And they say, as I'm going to read this to you, they say part of it you've gotten really right already in your life. Okay. And some of it you're still working on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're going to focus just a little bit on the part you're still working on. And then we're going
Mm-hmm.
to, show how you already have, and we'll continue to hit it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But what they were telling me as you were first talking is part of what you're wanting to do, this debt clearing process, is let go of the resentments, letting go
Mm.
of the resentments of all the people that you felt in the past who didn't show up for you the way you wanted them to show up for you. And so you took that as a cue as I have to do it myself.
100%.
Okay. And it's been a long standing program throughout this entire incarnation. And it's just time to let it go because it's just no longer relevant. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the guides really invite you to that end. And first of all, friends who are listening, this doesn't mean, look, life, a human world is a tough one to navigate. And oftentimes too, we come in with this beautiful, soulful, little babies, understanding and attention that everything's going to be peachy keen because we know that we're love and we know that everything is made of love. And we came from a place where there was only love. And then we open our sweet little baby eyes and we are cared for by people that have forgotten that. They've forgotten that. And they've forgotten that in all sorts of interesting and sometimes very twisted ways. And it hurts our little hearts because we don't understand it. We don't understand it. We don't understand what's going on here. We thought everything was one way, which it really is. And then in this human world, we're told again and again, it's not, it's not, it's not. And sometimes we're also told you are not, right? You're not enough. Or we start to believe it's about us, right? Or about what's possible in this world. And that's part of it from you. You learn from the people in your world early on that life had to be hard
Mm-hmm.
and that other people did not show up for you because that was a
Mm-hmm.
story you heard from at least one of your caregivers. Other people don't show up. They're trash is the word that I hear. They're not reliable. And that, I have to teach you to do it all yourself. Right. And
Yeah, that was
that's,
the example I lived
yeah.
watching.
And
Mm-hmm.
and your only power and strength is, it doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to be fun. In fact, it's not gonna, but you got to figure out how to do this for yourself. Cause in this world, you just have yourself and yourself alone.
Yep.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is you took it and ran with it. The tough thing is that it doesn't feel good because
Mm-mm.
we're all supported, and we're supported both in the human realm but also in the spirit realm. And so your guides say that you always had throughout all of this periodically, like all of us, it flashes on and off, but you've always had a deep soul connection to the other side, right? You've always felt that connection. But so you've always had this deep, deep soul connection and this deep understanding, right? That there's something bigger than you, that there is something supporting you, that there's something that you want to do here. And also that you are uniquely poised to do it. Okay. And you came in with that and you never set it down. You never set it down, which is huge. Your whole body is lighting up right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like just her whole body is tingling. Okay. And a lot of people, they take a whole lifetime to get to that point, but you've always known.
Yes.
And so what you're going to do now, and by the way, and we talked about this a lot in the retreat, and I talk about it a lot on the show. Service doesn't have to be heavy or hard. Service is around, doing what our soul came here to do, having fun, lining up, listening, following our joy, following our bliss, and, having our service be from there because it's really super freaking fun. Your soul did not look down on this human life and go, man, I'm going to roll up my sleeves. It's going to be really hard. It's going to really stink, but I'm going to learn a lot from the experience. So I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, that's the human interpretation of this incarnated experience. What your soul said is, "Ooh, I have an idea. Ooh, I have an inspiration. Ooh, I have a curiosity. This is going to be fun. Let's do it." That's how your soul looks at life. In fact, your soul is looking at your life that way every day, even if you wake up in the morning going like that. Okay. But you've kept a piece of that alive throughout all of you. But you've also carried like these tin cans behind the car, but not the fun wedding ones, the loud, slow you down ones, or maybe it was a wedding party at some point, but after a while it gets old.
Mm.
right? And that said, it has to be slow, it has to be hard, I have to prove my worth, and very most importantly, I have to go it alone. And I think that's one of the reasons why you have founded this group, Women's Wellness Retreats. It's on Facebook. She's got like 140,000 followers. And, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm just kind of guessing here, but I think it's aligned with this mission and purpose and also personal calling you have to feel supported by and support other women. Right. So we don't have to feel alone. So we don't have to feel like it's all on our shoulders and we're all alone in this, that we can feel like, we're part of something bigger than ourselves and that we all have room to shine.
Mhm.
Right. And so they want to honor that because I think that that intuitively and instinctually. And that's part of what you're here to show other people in the world. Okay. And now the question of how to make it easy, how to make it fun, and how
Well,
to release. Go ahead, talk,
can I
talk,
ask a
talk.
question? So how do I get rid of those resentments that I've carried around? Because I definitely have. I
Yeah.
know logically that I have them. And I want, is it through forgiveness? Is it through, I've laid some down, but I'm definitely still holding on to others.
Number one, I want you to know they're not wrong. They're
Okay.
just how you feel. They're what you learned. Some of them are inherited, and some of them you've picked up along the way from your own experiences, replaying the story that was inherited and attracting people into your space that matched that thought that you had that people aren't going to deliver. So, guess what? You know, they're not going to
Mm.
deliver. And not only that, but I think sometimes you don't see when people do deliver for you because when
Mm.
you are playing a story and a script over and over in your mind, not only do you attract more of that in, but you tend not to notice the exceptions, right? That's basic cognitive psychology, right?
Well, I recognize in myself that I will, even though I'm doing this group and I want on a spiritual level to bring all these people together, I recognize in myself that I have these walls that I don't want a lot of people in
Right.
because I want to protect myself from being rejected and left behind. And it comes out in my marriage, it comes out with my friends, it comes out with my family. And so I know that's how I've operated. And I'm working on, especially with people like you, I'm working on allowing, maybe breaking that wall down and trusting that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. What I get is a slightly different version of that. It could be different words.
Okay.
But this is how it looks to me. Tell me if it fits. I get that you're afraid that people will let you down.
Yeah. Oh,
I
100%.
think you're afraid to trust and say,
Yes.
like, if I
That's why I
trust
don't want to
this
get close to
person to
people.
do for me, they're going to let me down. They're not going to deliver. So it's easier for me to just do it for myself.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And your guides say, what if you believe that the source of your well being is not another human being,
Mm.
but it flows from your own unique and, oh God, what's the word? They want to say harassable is not a word, unerasable, like indelible, I don't know, connection with the divine. Like it's there, it can't go away. And the divine works through other people. And so, what they're inviting you to do is a couple of things. One, notice the people that are showing up for you. And by the way, people can show up for you in one way and not the other, right? I have friends that I love to go to concerts with, but they may not be friends that I call when in the middle of the night when I need someone to tell me it's all going to be okay, or they might be, right? I have friends that I tune into for all sorts of different reasons. And even my cry in the middle of the night friends, I always trust like whichever person picks up the phone is the one that's going to be the best fit for me right now. Right. And I trust that there'll always be someone. And I trust too, if no one picks up the phone, that's okay too, because I'm supported by the divine. And so that's that
Mm.
time for me to listen. Right. So when we recognize that everything in this life is a conduit for the divine and that we are in charge, we are the receiver, right? And that we are always connected, even when we're going like this, it builds a deeper sense of trust. It builds a deeper sense of trust. And we don't rely on any person to do everything for us.
Mm.
We just allow the gifts that they're able to bring to the table. We enjoy those gifts when we can receive them. And we also use discernment about the people that are taking more than they're giving, which is a lot of the people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for a while, that made sense to you because you were a giver. And being a giver was how you felt good about yourself and felt
Mm-hmm.
valuable and felt like everything was okay. Because as long as I give more than I receive, people will like me and they'll show up for me. It doesn't always work that way, friends. Usually, us people that have been trained on overgiving, we give, you know, 200%. It's not possible. And, we might get back 30,
Mm-hmm.
but we're so used to that imbalance that we keep, overgiving with the expectation that other people are going to reciprocate. I gave you 110%. So, you're going to give me 120 back. And it's the wrong way to do it. What you really need to do is start giving to yourself, right? Letting go of the people that don't understand the balance, right? That are just, and again, it's not necessarily their fault because you've attracted them in and they just think this is how it works, right? Oh, this is Abby. She gives 120%. I give her 10%. That's how she likes it. Okay. Is that how you like it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And so it's not about judging them or blaming them, but it is about making some hard choices. And it is about recognizing who you want to have in your life and recognizing that this is going to be an exercise in discernment. You don't have to get it all right the first time. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater the first time someone ticks you off. Though, I know there's a few people I want you to sever. We won't name names on my podcast. Um, but wouldn't it be fun if we danced? Sorry. No, I'm a high vibey girl. No, but really, like, because there's those of us around this sweet lady feel very protective of her. I gotta say, you bring that out and I think a lot of us we care, right? We want to support you, and those are the people that you want and deserve in your life. And one of the things I've noticed about you, my friend, is you are a taker and a giver. So, you know what I mean? Like you are someone who I really feel, I could be wrong, but I feel that it's natural for you when you receive to want to share, right? But the thing is, I don't want it to be your reflex
Mm.
that I can't sometimes just take it for me. Because in this beautiful universe, right, we are always in this constant state of flux and flow and give and take. And the balancing, is it's global, it's universal, it's beyond our human comprehension, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
another way of thinking about this is if somebody buys you just randomly, your favorite coffee at Starbucks, you don't actually have to turn around and spend the what's your favorite coffee at Starbucks? How much is that? I don't know how much these things cost.
Of
And
course, I'm the cheap date, so it's like $3.
okay, I was going to say 10.95. Okay, I have no idea how much Starbucks
I
costs,
just drink
friends.
black
I
coffee.
don't drink coffee, and if I go with friends, I get a water, so I'm very boring. But anyway, whatever it is, right? You don't have to go and spend that $3 or $10 or $25 on somebody else. Right. What I actually want you to do is when someone gives you a gift, I want you to pause, take it in, and receive and say, ooh, that felt so good. Thank you. Okay. And you can trust in the divine accounting, it'll get paid back either because you had it due and they had it to give,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or it's their joy in giving because a lot of people just give because it feels good to give with zero attachments. It's just, oh, I felt like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you don't have to worry about becoming, greed is a scarcity belief. It's the flip side of overgiving is overtaking, right? Because some people, the overtakers think if I don't grab it now, I'm not going to get it again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you
I
want,
just wrote the word scarcity down
yeah.
before you said it.
Yeah.
So that's probably the thing that I am in process of. I really want to change my mindset on that, but there's like
Yeah.
it's like I'm holding on to it.
Yeah. So I want you to leave it be. I want you to leave it be for now. Because when
Okay.
you think about scarcity and you think about mindset, you think about all of those ladies, they're all lions too. They're roaring, trying to tell you how to be like them. Be fierce
Mm.
like me, be rich like me, be abundant like me. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Okay.
Okay. Lots of people
Okay.
teaching mindset aren't living it. Your soul has a deeper calling than that. And the first thing that you need to learn to do this is to allow yourself to receive. You have to open yourself up to receive wherever you can get it. And you have to say, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm taking it in. If someone offers you a gift and it's not your favorite gift, you can say a polite thank you, but no, right? Oh, I love this pie so much. And it's so thoughtful that you brought it to me, but I'm gluten intolerant. And so I would really love you to share this pie with somebody that like can eat it. Okay. That's totally fine. I know you're not gluten intolerant, but you get the vibe. Um, but all the gifts that you want to receive, take them in, allow yourself to receive and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to this person, but also thank you to the universe. And thank you, Abby, for allowing me to bring this in, to allow this in. Okay. So I really want you to revel in all of the gifts. That's number one. Number two, and this one's going to feel a little bit weird, but it's going to work. Allow yourself to give some gifts to yourself. And they don't have to be big. One of my teachers shared at a conference, her scarcity stories are a little bit different than mine. And she shared about a pivotal moment in her life when she indulged herself and allowed herself to buy coffee at 7-Eleven, because that seemed to her like the ultimate luxury, to spend $3 on something that she could buy herself. Yours truly has never had coffee at 7-Eleven. Okay. It's not on my right. But that for her was that first step. She said, allowing herself that self-love to buy herself that coffee at 7-Eleven changed her life. It changed her life. It opened her up to understanding that her pleasure was worth it. Her ease was worth it. Okay. And I know you're feeling this. It doesn't have to be big things, but you have to start feeding yourself. You have to start allowing yourself. For you too, you have to start saying no, and saying no when simply because I don't want to do that. Okay. And this is mostly other people. There's some things in your life you might have to say yes to, even though you don't want to do them because you have bigger goals and you haven't figured out how to make other people do it yet, but you'll get there. Okay.
Like the
But
dishes. I'm
right.
saying no to
Okay.
the dishes.
Yeah, exactly. And
And I don't care how anyone feels about it.
are you the only person in your household with hands?
No.
There you go. Exactly. So starting to set boundaries and say, I refuse to do everything anymore. Right. I'm willing to
Mm-hmm.
do some things and not others. But in order for me to go where I need to go to support all of us, I need to set some hard boundaries with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's part of the giving to yourself, the
Mm-hmm.
saying no to the people that are used to you just saying yes, 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 yes to anything that they want. And that's where the resentment comes. Resentment is almost always a sign of overgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a sign that 10 steps ago, you should have said no when you said yes. And then you blame the other person for taking advantage, but you let them cross that boundary. So you have to remember that. Okay. Now you can still be mad at them. It's part of the process. You can still, it sucks when other people, whatever. But the deal is, it's not about them. It's about you. You have to set the boundary. You have to just say, no, I can't do this anymore. This isn't working for me. I love you. I hope, but this is the loving choice I'm making for myself. And, I hope that you love me enough to respect it. And if not, right. And again, I don't think it's going to come to that in your case. But I do think it's important that you start to prioritize what you need in you and your dreams and your ambitions and taking care of you. Okay. And allow yourself to receive. I don't know, numbers and my left and my intuitive brain don't play well together, but I think we're on 3. And 3 is start to notice where people show up for you. Okay. And it can be partial, right? So it could be that waitress was like awesome at taking my order and she showed up right away and that felt so good. And then if you wait like 1,000 hours for her to bring the check at the end, because I don't know why they always drop the ball there. I was never a server, so there might be a really good reason for it, right? Maybe they're just letting you have your time at the table.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, like he doesn't negate the first beautifulness that they gave to you. So everything that you appreciate, you want to notice. At the end of the day, I would literally do my appreciation list, all of the things that I received. And this isn't like what you're grateful for. This isn't like, well, at least this wasn't, God, I'm grateful that even though, I stubbed my toe, at least I didn't break it. It's not about that. It's about saying, like, just noticing spontaneously the things that were given to you that spontaneously and naturally felt good, and letting go of any encumbrances if the whole experience wasn't perfect. Right. I really liked how this person spoke to me. That felt really good. And then if you didn't like all of it, you can be like the rest. Yeah. Okay. But start your greatest hits at the end of every day. And think about it as it's where I'm attracting in and where I'm letting people in, because it's so important for you, Abby, and probably some people listening as well, to understand that you are your point of attraction here. And what you're really
Mm.
trying to do is rehone your attractor, your magnet, to attracting in, and your radar too, to feeling into and aligning with that feeling of ease and joy and peace and love and support.
So like my antenna.
Yes, that's the word. Yeah. And you're rehoning that antenna, or I don't even know. Calibrating, that's a nice word. Right. And so it doesn't even matter what anyone else is doing. They're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. It's about you going back again and again. I'm going to notice more things. I'm going to allow more things. I'm going to be grateful for more things. And I'm going to let go of things that feel like I don't want to do this anymore. This doesn't feel right. I don't want to say yes to this. Like, I'm done saying yes to this. You got to figure this out on your own. Right? I love you, and you got to figure this out on your own because it's too much for me. Right? Whenever we feel overwhelmed, it's usually because, we've given too much, or we're taking on too much. Okay? The other thing that they want to say is you also have to, and this is going to seem counterintuitive, but hopefully it's not, you also have to let go of the expectation that anyone else is going to do anything for you. Okay. It's not about expecting anything from any particular person. They will let you down every time, because that's been the story. I expect this. It should be there. They should do it. And then they don't. And then you get disappointed and angry and hurt and sometimes resentful. And then life feels hard again. Okay. So you're not going to expect it from any particular person or situation. You're just going to know that if one door closes, another will open. It will continue to flow. It's not expecting it from any one person. It's about allowing that everything's going to get done. My needs are going to get met, and I'm going to continue to hone that antenna, that radar, that magnet, because all of those things intertwined to bring in the people, the experiences, the resources that I need. Okay. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. They got one more thing. We could do this forever, but we can't. So they got one more thing. They want to speak particularly scarcity money wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've had a long
Mm-hmm.
time program running in your head from the beginning of time as you know it, that if you have, someone else doesn't. And if someone else has, you don't. Okay. And so they would like you to start for looking for examples where that is simply not true. Okay. First one is inflation. They're always making more money. Like, right. And people seem to get richer, right? When I was a child, a millionaire was a big thing. Now you got to be a billionaire, right? Right. It's not, it may partially because there are some people in scarcity that are feeling like they're hoarding all the money. But the thing is, we can make more. We can make more. Like, there's always enough for everyone. Every human being controls their own point of attraction. Now, if you are a billionaire operating from scarcity and you're not understanding the beautiful benefits that you have attracted all this monetary wealth to you and all the things that you can do with that. And, I love spending money. I love paying people. It's like a beautiful thing when I get to pay the person that mows my lawn or clean, because like I'm supporting them too. And I love that. I love it. Oh, I have money to like help somebody else. Like, it's a joy to me, and I'm not a billionaire. So, there are very rich people that are operating in scarcity, even though
Mm-hmm.
they are attracting a lot of money to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So don't think that, they just believe that they can have money and so it comes their way, but they are not abundant. They're just
Mm-hmm.
rich. Okay.
Right.
But that's not
Right.
what you're going for. And there's also many people that have attracted great deals of wealth that are flying and loving with it and enjoying it and feel comfortable with it. And probably those people too are very heart centered. They're probably opening up and sharing with others in the best possible way, either intentionally or even in their spending, which by the way will impact other people. Right. And so what your guys want you to know is there's nothing wrong with having money. The people that have money are not wrong or bad or evil. They don't think they're better than you because you don't have money. You're not worse than them because, whatever. It's a fun tool that we get to play with on earth. And if you want more of it, start enjoying the money you have now. Start playing with it. Start enjoying it. Start, meditate on a quarter, right? Notice the things that you do have money for. Like, just enjoy it. And, I hear you saying too, notice the people in your world that live more abundantly, that feel aligned and good to you. Have some role models. Okay. But the role models don't have to be the sharks. Part of you loves the sharks because you long to stand up for yourself. And these ladies, they stand up for themselves. They're shameless. And you would like to just be a little bit more like, I can own it. I can have what I want. I can want what I want. It's okay to want this. It's okay to say no. A woman can be sexy and roar at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't really long, I don't think, to be greedy or selfish. You just long to have, more joy, more abundance, more flow, more fun, more freedom, and to let
Freedom.
go. Yeah. And to let go of these fears that say, I'm not enough. It's not enough. And it's not okay to want this. Of course, it's okay to want this. And again, you're not hurting anybody else by wanting what you want. Okay. I promise you, it doesn't work that way. That's a very human understanding. Now, if you walk into a restaurant, see someone's purse open their wallet, take the money out of their wallet and put it in your pocket, that's called stealing. And in the human world, people don't like that very much. And you might go to jail. Right. So don't do that. But that's not what we're talking about. Right. We're talking about you aligning with your divine flow so that you can have more and you can enjoy, your own in a pipeline of abundance. And in so doing, it will flow to others naturally and normally and beautifully if you want it to. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're just like, oh my God, I've spent so much time giving. I just need to enjoy swimming around in this beautiful vessel right now. I'm just going to swim in my pool and enjoy it. And that would be okay too, because the glow of your enjoyment will light up the whole world. All right.
Thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome. Anything else before I read you the meaning of the lion card?
No, I mean, that's the thing that scarcity has been this thing that I sort of been trying to beat away. And so what you said about allowing it to be in the flow and focusing on all the other stuff and gently allow it to go away.
Yeah.
Instead of forcing it away.
Focus on the other stuff. Focus on the abundance. Focus on where you're in the flow. And then it'll flow away. And look, we're a mixed bag of vibrations and conditioning, but it's not about beating down what's wrong with us, because this is an attraction-based universe, which means what you focus on grows. So if you focus on what's wrong,
exactly,
even if you're trying to fix it,
exactly,
right? But there's nothing wrong anyway. There's nothing, you're perfect. Everything's perfect. This is exactly the experiences that your soul chose and attracted to get you to exactly where you are now. Right. So focus on where you want to be. And when you have those moments when you feel like the juice, the wind is knocked out of you, those are the moments to just be like, okay, human, I love you. Shit happens. Let me just comfort you right now. All right. I got to read this little blurb to you because I was reading it right before you hopped on, and it's so very relevant. Perhaps you do so much good already, but you're feeling unappreciated, wanting to hold back the gifts or hoard them for yourself. Maybe you're looking for attention and praise. Maybe you were even generous with an expectation that you would be entitled to repayment. Know the real magic happens when you remember there is always enough for you, and you are always enough. Give freely without agenda or expectation. Let the lion spirit remind you that in giving you receive. Then you will see that you are appreciated. Stop comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as less than. For within you is a wellspring of generosity. And I would also add abundance. Okay?
Wow.
Because you can't make this stuff up.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
I literally picked up this book. It opened to that page. My thumb was on that paragraph before this lady came on the air. Okay. So that is how life gets to flow. Friends, I know that there are so many of you guys that are going to really jive with this episode. So I'm really excited. I'm really grateful for Abby for coming on and sharing. And because I know actually when this episode is going to go live, which I usually don't, and because Abby has a huge passion project coming up here in San Diego in October of 2025, because I know some of you will be listening after this, and I'm sorry you missed it, but she's going to do it every year. So like, follow her, find all her stuff. It'll be in the show notes so that, you can find out about future offerings if you missed this one. But Abby, can you share a little bit about this beautiful thing that you have going on at the beginning of October here in San Diego?
Yes, well, in the spirit of abundance, I definitely feel very abundant because I have this group on Facebook that sort of went viral, women's wellness retreats. And because of that, I've met all of these incredible female leaders in the soul business world. And we are putting on an international women's wellness retreat summit for retreat leaders. And we are coming together to grow our businesses, to sort of really to work in all of this space that we were just talking about, to grow our businesses, to become more abundant, to also then use that to give to other people.
Yeah.
So it's about leaders coming together and women from all over the world coming together to learn from each other, to grow, to create partnerships and friendships. And it happens in San Diego, October 4th and 5th, and it's at the Wyndham San Diego. And Dr. Victoria Shaw will be one of the highlighted speakers.
Yay! I will be there, as will amazing other people. Sherry Rosenthal, who's one of like the gurus in the retreat business. So if you've dreamed of doing a retreat, if you are a retreat leader and you want to, really tap into the community, learn what's like the newest cutting edge things that you need to know about retreat leadership, and have a team, have other people to connect with and maybe lead a retreat with or learn from or grow with, or your retreat's full but you want to send to them, or their retreat's full and they want to send to you. This is all about building a community for people that are doing this beautiful work of leading retreats, which is huge now. It's $1 billion industry, and it's a special industry too because, like Abby said, it's really heart focused leaders. It really is. I think most people that are doing this kind of work are doing it because they have a passion to be of service to others and to have that community and to support others in these amazing breakthrough experiences of being at a retreat. Which, owner of a retreat property, I know it's magical. It's a magical experience. So we'll have all the information in the show notes. Abby, I don't usually do this with my intuitive guests, but I know my reading guests, but share your website and stuff like that so people can find that too.
womensretreatsworldwide.com. And each year we will be going to a different country. From here, San Diego will be doing a different summit each year for leaders. And honestly, there's a lot to come. So once I get my little antenna straight, gonna have more coming.
Yeah, but so much is there already. And if you're not in San Diego, fear not, come. She's got people coming from Australia. We've got people coming
from
the UK. Like, people are coming from everywhere and all over the US. So it's at a hotel and there's like a group rate. And San Diego is the best in October. It's the best time of year to be here. People don't know that. All the tourists are gone and the weather is freaking perfect. That's when our summer is like really in full swing. So it's just beautiful. So you want to come if that aligns with you. And if you want to be a retreat leader. And even so, I know that so many of you guys are going to get so much out of this episode. And Abby, I'm so grateful for you for sharing your story. And listeners, and watchers, stay tuned because Living in Alignment season 2 is going to be up and running soon. And like I said, Abby's on the show and you can find out why we are both so freaked out that I pulled the lion card. So I'm so grateful to each and every one of you because it's this podcast and this work that I do that like gets me to do this cool thing and have these amazing conversations with folks like her. Love each and every one of you. If you want to get a reading with yours truly, remember you can do that by going to victoriashawintuitive.com. And please just keep following the show, like us, subscribe, share. It means a lot. And I'm just so grateful to every one of you. And namaste.
Namaste.